Miami Hurricanes versus Bethune Cookman Wildcats here in Hard Rock Stadium. And once again, another victory. And once again, another victory over Bethune Cookman as they just continue the dominance and beating one of the less stressful games where it should be less stressful. Number 5, Miami Hurricanes jumped 5 spots ahead in the AP polls after the Notre Dame victory, which was awesome. Versus Bethune Cookman, the defense did their job. Everything went according to plan. Almost everything went according to plan. The only hiccup, a couple of hiccups. The only hiccup that I could say is, the field goal. Just a field goal, but nothing to dwell over. It's just me personally. Carson Beck was really good. In fact, extraordinarily good. As playing against a team in the FBS, especially if it's an IAA division in the Southwestern Athletic Conference, East Conference, something like that. Carson Beck was awesome. He was 22 to 24. He only had 2 incomplete passes in the whole game, and the first one happened in the second quarter. So he was really good, and then 2 touchdown passes as well. Miami's offense was incredibly good, and I like to apologize, and I'm such idiotic, but I believe I got the name wrong last time. I pronounced Malachi. It's actually Malachi, so I apologize tremendously. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I got the name wrong. It's Malachi Tony. Malachi Tony was awesome. Mark Fletcher was also very good. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. C.J. Daniels, of course, was really good. He has a touchdown catch as well. In fact, in the first quarter as well, to say the least. Jamar Brown with the touchdown, which was pretty good. Almost everything went according to plan. Just a couple of hiccups, giving up a field goal and targeting, which we got to talk about Wesley Bethune, if I said so correctly. He got targeting 3 plays into the game. It was against Bethune Cookman. I don't necessarily love this targeting call. To me, it's more borderline to try to dive in. Yes, okay. I understand if it's helmet to helmet, and I understand that's the basis of the rule. But sometimes they let it slide. But unfortunately, according to the rules, if it's helmet to helmet when you're diving in, and especially when they're going down anyway, it's targeting. So yes, I agree. It's not intended to hit the guy, but it's I don't know. I know it's a rule. I just don't love it. So I don't know if he's going to play the next game, to say at least. But yeah, that's one thing. Bethune Cookman also got targeting in one of the possessions, I believe. I forgot which possession it was, but one of the defenders was also got caught for targeting as well, which it kind of evens out a little bit, but not in the way that you think. Because the game is already out of hand. I think it was a possession in the third quarter. I believe it was Adrian Hill Jr. for Bethune Cookman. He got called for a target, and he was disqualified for the rest of the game, and some whatnot. So unfortunately, Miami did not score all the possessions. The only possession that I can think of that they didn't score at all was in the third quarter. So 9 possessions is a touchdown. 1 possession is a turnover on downs, which I guess, and then one possession, which took 13 plays, is a field goal, which is fine because I think was kind of spoiling with us. It was Bert Auburn with the 31-yard field goal to pretty much sealed the game. In fact, the game was already sealed enough. But the defense was awesome. Without Wesley, The defense did their job, and yes, they did create turnovers. Okay, so in the first half, they forced Bethune Cookman to punt the football, except in the second quarter, which took 11 plays, which really ended in a field goal. A couple of pretty stupid penalties from the Hurricanes that led the Wildcats for a field goal, and then the rest is just touchdown, which is incredible offensive showing, which as you should. But in the third quarter, we forced a fumble on Bethune Cookman at the Miami 26. McLean was sacked by Ruben Bain, which of course Ruben Bain is such a talented player. He forced a fumble and recovered by Chase Smith, which is incredible. Absolutely awesome showing by Ruben Bain. And in the fourth quarter, as you know, I like to say one thing. I want to say one thing. Cameron Ransom for Bethune Cookman, I think he's their backup. He is too good to be part of the Wildcats team. He is too good for that, okay? He ran for 28 yards, did that little juke move to go all the way to the Miami 22. So, I mean, look, I think he's too good for Bethune Cookman. I think he should take his talent somewhere else instead of just Bethune Cookman. But you know, that's just my personal opinion, to say the least. I don't hate the guy. I worry for him. Anyway, in the end of that possession at the Miami 6, 4th down and goal, it was picked off. By Fitzgerald. Picked off by Fitzgerald at the end zone. That caused another Bethune Cookman turnover. And for 6 minutes and 11 seconds, possession for the Miami Hurricanes all led to a field goal. In fact, there was one instance in this possession where they fumbled the football, and then, you know, it was the pass. It looked like a pass forward, which they were talking about the tuck rule. They were talking about the tuck rule that Tom Brady got away with. In fact, one of the commentators in this game was talking about that, and he's saying that he's over it. I don't think he's over it. The tuck rule thing. In fact, as a Dolphins fan, I completely get it. Raiders should have won that game against the Patriots, but that missed call created the Patriots dynasty. The Patriots took advantage of it, and Brady became what Brady was throughout his career. And then he talked about Spygate, Deflategate, and all that type of stuff. All the adversary created against the Patriots, yet they still won Super Bowls. So there's that. But anyway, now we're getting too controversial with this one, and let's just continue. Yeah. Then Carson Beck was so good. Emory Williams was back in. I think he's now a junior. Emory Williams. Yeah, he was that same quarterback that was, awful in the bowl game. Remember that? But he was able to bring them down to the Bethune Cookman 13 for a 31-yarder. And your final score was 45-3. 45-3 game for the Miami Hurricanes. Number 5 Miami Hurricanes. As I hope we will rank up a little bit more than number 5, but if it remains the same, fine, it remains the same. But our next opponent now is going to be South Florida Bulls. They might be a bigger threat than we anticipate, because South Florida Bulls, just like what the Hurricanes did last season, they go up to the Swamp and beat the Florida Gators. So let me just say this, right? Compare with the Hurricanes, with beating the crap out of the Gators up at the Swamp. The Bulls ends up winning on a field goal at the Swamp. Massive upset win for the South Florida Bulls. And keep in mind, the Gators, they were ranked 13th in the nation, and they lost to South Florida. the team from Tampa. They go to Gainesville, and the university from Tampa, Florida. I know they're called South Florida, but they're from school. Their schools from Tampa. Go up to Gainesville and do their jobs. And Florida Gators, they did not help themselves. Those stupid, horrendous penalties hurt them badly. They hurt themselves, and they let South Florida come by and upset the Gators. So the vibe is good in Tampa. The vibes is good in Tampa, and that's our next opponent. Last year we beat South Florida in the blowout by 50 to 14 or something like that. I forgot the score off the top of my head, but we beat them in Tampa. Now they're coming to Miami this time, so we have to anticipate South Florida being a way better team than we thought. I might even do a preview on this. Let's take a look at the rest of the nation. So, Ohio State versus Grambling. Yeah, you can't lose to that. Penn State's being actually another Miami school. FIU 34-0. I don't know. I don't think there's a number 3. Is there a number 3? No. Or if they're playing right now. Yeah, LSU. They're playing right now against Louisiana Tech. They're winning 20-0 at this time of recording. Number 4, Georgia, 28-6 against Austin Peay. And of course, Miami, who is number 5, 45-3. I think the rankings are going to remain the same. I think Miami is going to remain at number 5 for the time being. And then everything else, the top 10 is the victory that should be a victory. And maybe Clemson might go down. They were losing 16-0 before coming back. We'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, well, I'll do the preview. I might do the preview of the Hurricanes versus Bulls again. I think this might be even bigger game than we thought, because of the massive upset win against Florida up in Gainesville, nonetheless. We'll see what happens. Anyway, folks, there you go. That's gonna do it for this one. Miami Hurricanes are once again 2-0 to start the season. They are looking to go 3-0 against South Florida next week at Hard Rock Stadium. And I should point this out, 8-game winning streak at Hard Rock Stadium. Let's continue that at home. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this one. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe for content, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for a Dolphins game. Good night.